It's a powerful literary device. In the age of social media, it is often used as a tool to attract attention. And it works. The Chinese are using it as a tool to mock India, but their sense of humor is sickening. Look at this post. It's from the official Weibo account of the CCP's Political and Legal Affairs Committee. As is evident, this post juxtaposes a successful space launch in China with an image of funeral pyres in India. You think that's disgusting? Look at the top comment. It says, China sending people to space, India sending people to heaven. This sort of vulturism is a common sight on Chinese social media right now. Many in China see India's suffering as an opportunity to mock it. Who celebrates the sight of burning pyres? A government that is morally bankrupt. And this is the worst side of China that we've seen so far.
Precisely. The Chinese communist regime is a morally bankrupt government without soul. Welcome to KSJ-Bridging the Gap. This is Sarah. Before we go on with the episode, please leave me a comment or share the channel with a friend of yours. Very appreciated. It is not surprising that the regime would find pleasure in Indians suffering from the devastating second wave of the CCP virus, which is quite possibly leaked from its Wuhan virology lab. The Global Times, the CCP's official mouthpiece, carried the headline last month saying, India cannot afford a China decoupling as the virus rages. The article blames that India has banned more than 200 apps in China and has increased the discriminatory restrictions or even inciting economic nationalism against the Chinese companies and investments. It says India is currently at a crucial junction. If the country wants to get out of the predicament, it needs to actively promote cooperation with other emerging economies, including China, in fighting against the virus and boosting economic recovery, rather than continuously playing geopolitical games. It is sick to promote its nationalism by mocking and threatening other countries. One of the reasons for India to become the target of the CCP's wolf warriors is the crisis China is facing with a shrinking population. The CCP has yet to make public the result of its latest census, which was completed in December last year. China is set to report its first population decline since the famine that accompanied the Great Leap Forward, a disastrous economic policy implemented by Mao Zedong in the late 1950s, which led to the deaths of tens of millions of Chinese people. But it seems that Chinese population declines faster than expected and may soon be exceeded by India's, which is estimated at 1.38 billion. If India replaces China and it becomes the world's most populous country, China's economic structure will be affected largely. The CCP totalitarian regime pretends to be strong outwardly, but it is indeed weak inwardly because it depends on control, not trust, to run the country. The struggle between Xi Jinping and its political opponents is very severe. At the same time, the communist regime is losing credit and reputation on the world stage. Under Xi, the regime has pursued strategies such as massive cyber theft of industrial property, disregard for rule-based international law, and the flouting of the international treaty commitments. Rogers Cassat, who twice served in the British Embassy in Beijing and the author of The Coming Alive, China After Mao, and the new book, China Coup, The Great Leap to Freedom, wrote an article, Regime change in China is not only possible, it is imperative. He predicts that Premier Li Keqiang, Vice Premier Wang Yang, and Vice President Wang Qishan conspire together to remove Xi from office, opening the way to systemic change. The U.S. plays a crucial role by engineering a Sino-American confrontation, which leads to a crisis in China's financial markets. That crisis prompts the conspirators to activate a well-prepared contingency plan to depose Xi. Another possibility is that Xi's opponents will prevent his reappointment as General Secretary of the Communist Party at its next National Congress in November 2022, and will use that occasion to launch China onto the path of change. The life and death internal struggle within the Chinese Communist Party will soon be staged. Wait for a good show. KSJ Bridging the Gap. See you next time.